How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Corner MZD. As always, and today I want to talk about Hogwarts Legacy. Why? Because Game Rant had put up this article, and I was doom scrolling Facebook and saw this as a sponsored ad. And so, given that one, I'm a Potterhead, and two, I've made videos about the Hogwarts Legacy boycott, I guess, which we'll get to in a moment. Don't worry, I have receipts. I felt like I wanted to give it this video. So these dumb motherfuckers say that Hogwarts Legacy 2 can't sidestep the franchise's biggest controversy like the original did. I'm just gonna be honest, right out the gate, it didn't sidestep it. The fucking controversy was fucking non-existent. There was nothing to be controversial about. So for those who don't know, the controversy that Game Rant is alluding to was the fact that J.K. Rowling was getting some minor royalties from the Hogwarts Legacy sales. Now, I went over it in that video, but I'm going to go over it again just for all of you. Royalties, when they're paid out, are typically between 5 and 10% of the profit for a game. Okay? Not the total that it makes, the profit of the game. That means after all the money they spent on their employees has been made back, after all of the money that marketing has made back, after all of the money that the publisher has made back, although in this case the publisher and the developer were one and the same, it was Warner Brothers, right? So after all of the costs to market, make, and distribute the game have been made back, then you get into profit. Okay. Now, I want to talk about this just a little bit more before we dive deeper into this. So right over here on GameWorldObserver.com, Hogwarts Legacy hits 30 million copies sold. How it compares to Warner Brothers' best-selling franchises, blah, blah, blah. The rest of this article we don't really care about. What we care about is this right here. Okay. Was that it surpassed 30 million copies. Okay. So, as it told Variety, it sold 30 million, which means if we go by this, it made $1 billion dollars in less than 3 months with 15 million units sold globally. So that's pretty easy to actually do the math on. So as you can see, it fucked up. Hang on. So if I'll just do this again. So here's 1 billion. You divide that by 15 million because that's how many copies it sold, right? And just this. That's about $66 per. Okay, so that's some of them that just bought the base game and some of them that bought the premium edition. Now, so if we go to 30 million, right? 30 million, and we times that by 66, that means it made about $2 billion total. Okay, this is not $2 billion in profit, it's $2 billion total. Okay, so over here on Expert Beacon, it was reportedly about $150 million budget. Okay, so we remove $150 million from that, and this is how much they made. Okay, reportedly. We don't actually know if this is actually how much it took. This is just what has been reported, right? So, what is 5 to 10% of this number? So, this means that J.K. Rowling made anywhere between $91.5 million to $183 million in royalties, okay? And this is all she got. She had no input on the development of the game. She had no creative hold over the game. She wasn't allowed to decide what did and didn't happen in the game. Nothing. All she got was royalties because she owns the IP. The controversy surrounding Hogwarts Legacy was that she had creative control over the game and could dictate what was and wasn't a part of the game. When the game first came out, there was a quote unquote boycott against the game. This boycott did nothing because, as reported here, okay, after the launch in February 2023, in less than 3 months, it generated $1 billion in sales. The boycott did nothing. The game did not sidestep it because it didn't make a dent. There was nothing to sidestep. It moved forward and never stopped moving forward. Now, let's get into this, shall we? So this first paragraph means absolutely nothing. The second paragraph is also pretty much nothing. However, this right here, Avalanche Software and Warner Brothers game tried to placate fans within the game itself, but the developer's attempt was poorly received. Now, the only thing I can think of is them trying to talk about Sirona, which is a very minor character within the grand scope of the game, or even just a minor scope of the game, who also just so happens to be transgender. Her being, or them being transgender doesn't really play a factor in anything of the game. It's a side note, as like most transgender people make it out to be. Those that try to make it their entire personality are the most insufferable people in the world because they demand you change your entire way of living to placate them. And I'm sorry, that's not how the fucking world works. It's not! I have no issue with however you want to be or whatever, but don't try to force your beliefs onto me. That's how I've always lived my life. That's how I'm always going to live my life. Okay. So, continuing on. This next one doesn't fucking matter. Knowing J.K. Rowling's controversial positions on the trans community specifically led to them including a minor transgender character in Hogwarts Legacy. Where is your source for this? Across the whole of the internet, this statement has no source. Nowhere on the entire internet has this ever been confirmed by the developers. Additionally, this character would have had to been made far in advance of the announcement for the game, let alone her reveal within the game. She has a lot of lines that would have had to have not only been recorded, but input into the game at specific points, entire cutscenes that had to be made with this character, not even talking about her model, rigging, animation, and textures that would have had to be made, which all on their own take an enormous amount of time to do. So, them saying that it is specifically the cause is yet another reason why Game Rant is just a fucking load of shit and doesn't know what they're talking about. They're making shit up and lying to you. Directly lying to you. Though it is always great to see more representation in any kind of media, Sirona Ryan does not truly add much to Hogwarts Legacy's plot other than being a minor NPC. This is because she is, as you point out, a minor NPC. Minor NPC means that they play no significant role in the overarching plot of the thing. They are there for a minor purpose, such as a background character as a bartender in a bar, like Serona Ryan is, okay, and not someone like fucking Dumbledore, who is a main character of the entire fucking series, or Harry Potter, or your character that's in the game Hogwarts Legacy. As such, some have viewed the character's addition as performative representation rather than meaningful statement against Rowling. You want to know performative representation? Concord. Concord is a game that is performative representation. Those characters are all intended to be main characters of the game, and the majority of them have terrible designs that are clearly put in there because of forced DEI from Sweet Baby Inc. And we know this because they were essentially nothing but DEI hires that forced the creation of those characters. Okay. We know this pretty much for a fact. That is a game that is performative representation. Hogwarts Legacy adding a single minor character whose role as a transgender person is minor at best because that is not their personality, that is not the entirety of their character, does not make it a performative action. Okay. Candidly, there is nothing that Avalanche Software or Warner Brothers games can do to avoid Rowling's controversial statements, as it is likely she'll never change her mind on the subject. Candidly, Game Rant, it wouldn't fucking matter if J.K. Rowling came out with a massive apology video and donated $400 billion to every single transgender fucking charity in the world. Okay? There are going to be so many people out there that look at it and go, this is just performative representation. She doesn't mean it. She's just trying to buy your loyalty. So, respect, actually, no, I'm not even going to say that. Disrespectfully, Game Rant, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about because it doesn't matter whether she does or doesn't change her mind. There are going to be an infinite number of ways that people are going to try and find that prove she is not sincere. Okay. But that doesn't mean that the developer can't strive to improve the brand's trans representation with Hogwarts Legacy 2, likely with the intent of avoiding its predecessor's boycott that was due to Rowling's statement. I'm going to be honest, Game Rant, they really shouldn't fucking care about even trying to do that, because the last boycott did fucking nothing. All it did was bully, harass, and chase off very well-respected, nice, wholesome people from streaming. There was this one lady, I don't remember what the VTuber's name was, but she got harassed and attacked so much just for wanting to play a video game. She quit streaming entirely the day of. So, disrespectfully, Game Rant, if you motherfuckers want to try and fucking boycott it again like that, all that deserves to happen is your site getting shut fucking down. And every single one of those motherfuckers is getting doxxed and revealed to the entire public. That's what needs to happen. Also, to this, no, it won't. Transgender Potterheads still exist despite Rowling's statements. That's because they understand that the series itself exists differently and outside of the statements of Rowling. Regardless of what J.K. Rowling says, the series itself is still a good series, which is something you don't seem to fucking understand. So the expansion of Serona Ryan as a character, by the way, the rest of this doesn't matter. Could be one way that Avalanche Software and Warner Brothers games attempt to prevent a hypothetical boycott of Hogwarts Legacy 2. Here's the thing, no, it won't, because then you're just gonna be like, oh, it's performative representation. They're only doing this to try and avoid a boycott. They're only doing this to try and win us over. They're only doing this because they're trying to make it so that we believe that they actually care about us. When in reality, all of that is true because that is the only reason a extremely minor, pretty much borderline insignificant character would get such a massive role in the second one as you try to make, essentially. She is an extremely minor character, has no relevance on the plot in Hogwarts Legacy 1, so having her have some significant relevance in the plot in Hogwarts Legacy 2 would be performative representation. Because there was no hint, no like little implication that she has anything to do with any of the plot of the first game. Nothing. Nada. Zilch. So yeah. Game Rant, you're a fucking moron. None of this fucking matters. Go play Hogwarts Legacy 1. It's a phenomenal game. J.K. Rowling had absolutely no impact or decision making when it came to the creative design and creative integrity of the game. She got a few $100 million at most, which, let's be fucking honest, really doesn't make that big of a dent in her fucking bank account anyways. And the fucking boycott controversy bullshit that they try to fucking pull on Hogwarts Legacy 1 did absolutely nothing because the game sold over 30 million copies and made almost $2 billion. That's all I have for this one. If you liked the video, hit like and subscribe. If you didn't, hit this like, leave a comment, let me know why. And I'll see you all next time.